Good morning. Welcome to the Baywater Boat Club Hour. My name is Adam Botana, along with my great co-host here.
Jake the Millennial.
Hey, Jake. How we doing, buddy?
Doing swell this morning. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm driving. I'm driving. So I've been doing the last couple days. Was in Tallahassee for last week. Went up for Legislator University. Teach you how to be a good legislator, which was good. It was fun. Hung out with some other reps and see the process. See our good speaker, Danny Perez, our Senate President, Ben Albritton, but hung out with Lauren Mello quite a bit and a few other good members down there. Tiffany Esposito, Mike G. Lombardo. Jonathan Martin, our senator, wasn't up here. They're up here the week after. We have split this week, so I don't know why that is, but we didn't really do any legislation. We're just talking to freshmen and queuing them up, getting them ready to go. I'm actually getting ready to move equipment that I was supposed to do a month ago, but then we got a hurricane. So I get to drive some of our carnival equipment from Mississippi to Michigan and then drive back down to home. So I'll be in a truck for the next few days, which I don't mind. I mean, I'm a big audiobook guy. So I might listen to Atlas Shrugged. I tried to listen to that. It's like 45 hours long. I got to like 20 hours. Like, oof.
What is that about?
Atlas Shrugged is about, I mean, it's like a famous book that everybody's supposed to read, but it's like a tome. Reardon Steele. It's like a different, it's like, it's a different world, right? If there was just an ultra rich class, then there was, everybody else are just pretty much peasants, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to comprehend. Like I listened to the Grapes of Wrath, which was pretty good. Talks about people moving out west because there was nothing left. After the Dust Bowl and some crazy stories. But just it was based in the 20s, I believe. But it was an interesting listening. Listen, I like to listen. So it's all kinds of stuff like that. So when you're driving, podcasts and radio, you can only listen to so many songs or the next X-Men Wolverine soundtrack, which, it's a pretty good soundtrack, but, I was just listening to that's why I brought that up. But, like, just doing audiobooks. What about you, buddy? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I actually had a list of 2 books that I was trying, because I'm paying for Audible, and I would like to utilize my free book for this month. And I can't remember what it was called. What is the one that Atlas? How do you say it?
Oh, dude, it's like a tome. Atlas Shrugged. Reardon. I mean, it's really like there's trains and they're talking about the steel that this guy's invented, this Reardon steel, and he's created the steel which is made really cheap but very strong, and people are probably like listening to me like you have no idea what you're talking about. It's probably true, but it was a really long book. But the chief, the clerk for the House of Representatives of Florida always gives me a bunch of different books to read. Like I read 30 Days, talks about how Gerald Ford went from majority leader to president. It was pretty interesting, and when I was listening to that one, you hear a lot of old names like Jeb Bush and Dick Cheney, and all these people are still there. I'm reading another one right now called The Gatekeepers. It's taking like the 5 or 6 last chief of staffs for presidents, and they've gotten together and just talking about what to do and how to deal with people, and it's just interesting stuff. Just I like political stuff, but I'm a big John Grisham guy. Like I love John Grisham. I told you about before. The Firm was really good. If you've seen the movie, the book's way better. You need to listen to The Godfather by Mario Puzo. The movies are good, but you listen to the book, it's a whole nother level. Just goes down into the characters get a lot deeper. You learn a lot more about them and stuff. So that, and I'm going to be freezing. I'd rather be down in Southwest Florida right now, where it's a little cooler, but at least we have boats going out at the boat club and rentals. I mean, up here, we're talking about Michigan. There's going to be like snowing around. I'm a Florida boy. I'm not used to that crap. So I can say crap, right? I can say crap, yes. So,
That's allowed on the radio, yeah.
so, but yeah, I mean, just a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff talking about at home. Um, there's a lot of controversy going on right now in Lake County. Issues there, but like I said earlier, me and my colleagues asked for an audit 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago. So stuff's coming out. We'll see where it goes, Jake. I mean, it's probably been a lot going on. I mean, I've been out of the loop in Southwest Florida the last 5-6 days. Been up here with Tallahassee, and we're getting ready for session, and we'll bring home money. That's what we do. We try to, and make our area great. Rebuild after Hurricane Ian, and that's the main thing. So, but how was Columbus? Did you have a good time?
I didn't go yet. I go for Christmas. I went to go see my mom for Thanksgiving,
That's
and
right.
it was good, but I did get sick. I came back with, I think, the same thing that everyone else has right now. I'm finally getting over it, but it was a little bit of a rough week for me, not going to lie.
I know I did call in to trade. You did sound like crap. I will say that. That's for sure. You did not sound good. You're still coughing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's why I have my mic muted. I have it set on a hotkey because, like, my throat is just tanked.
thanks. Yeah, that's tough. And you're talking, but hey, man, good job on the show, and you're really stepping up. Appreciate it. I mean, you're good. I'm glad we got you out of your shell in the Baywater Boat Club Hour, and people represent now, and you're on there with Mike Belka, which is cool. I like Mike. He's doing a good job.
Mike is doing great. I'm doing real good.
He's doing real good. We'll keep him
And
informed. And,
the book that you were talking about earlier,
yes.
I have it. It was the book I actually added this month, and I was like, it was when you said it, I'm like, man, doesn't that sound familiar? It was the 1st of December when I added it, the first day.
Oh,
I didn't know it was a tome, though. Yes.
Atlas Shrug?
Yes,
You
by
see how many
Ayn
hours it
Rand.
is?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
by Ayn Rand. It's going to take you a month to listen to it.
Because there was another book.
It's got a couple of them.
It's called Maze by Christopher Manson. That's not political. It was some weird, creepy story I read on the internet. There was a guy who made some weird stuff, and this book he was obsessed with, and that's going to be my book for next month. It's a book about solve the world's most challenging puzzle in a book, basically, is what it says. So.
Oh, cool. Well, the other one there, it's pretty good too, is you only have to be right once. I think I talked about that with you before. It talks about all the, like Elon Musk, the guy who invented the GoPro. It's just like a lot of short stories, but it just tells about, the guy who invented the GoPro, he just stayed in his bedroom and was there for like 3 months and just sat in his bedroom and peed out the window and got a Camelback, and that's how he would drink water. I mean, just like nuts stuff. But he created the GoPro, and he's done pretty well. So, but a couple things like that. So,
yeah, I think now we have one fixed in our studio that just stays there. So,
just runs. During the hurricanes, we always talked about, hey, it'd be great if we had one, put at the marina. But when you got everything else and you're pulling boats out, and the last thing you're thinking of it was like, oh, let's put a GoPro up. Get it set up, but hopefully we never have to deal with that again. I don't want to deal with it at all again, ever. But we'll see what happens.
We could set you up with like a not necessarily a sky cam, but like a fixed camera that we could put that like overlooks on like maybe a power pole or something.
Yeah, maybe we got to do a wink camera from Baywater Boat Club. Because you can look over the bay there, see what's going on there.
They would probably love that.
Yeah, just Benita. Hey, this is the sky cam from Benita. Looking over the channel, the bay, see what's going on there.
It'd probably be one of Matt's go-to whenever we have a hurricane. He'd be like, this is the camera off of Benita Beach Road.
Hey, let's figure it out. Let's do it. Look at the boating forecast brought to you by Baywater. It is a small credit advisory, so do not go out today. Just saying.
Is it going to be a rough weekend on the water?
I think it's not gonna be bad. We're getting a lot of front that come through, and anytime this time of year, folks, anytime we have a front, like if you come out of your house, it's cold, it's gonna be windy on the water, and that means no water in the bay because that north wind is blowing everything out. With all the hurricanes that we had with the water surge, we had a lot of surge because you had a south wind pushing that water up into the channels, up into the bay. And you have the north wind, it blows it out. So it's interesting. That's why we had surges from Milton and Helene, every other aspect, and we never used to have that. It's just the way they're kind of skirting our coast, and a lot of people talk about global warming. They're getting stronger. It's a possibility. I think storms are stronger. We have a lot more technology now we can really look into and see. But there's a lot out there, and so I mean that's what happens with that wind there. It's a good time to come down and check out the boat club though. If you want, we'll be there. Come over and see Larry and Susan, Leland, and Anna this week, today and tomorrow. Maybe Holmar's kicking around there, sniffing around. He's keeping an eye on him when I'm out here running around. We got our general manager Julie there, doing some good things too. But come on over and see us. We've got a great selection of boats. We got some new Pathfinders coming in. We're excited about that. Got one coming here January, another one in February. Some new fishing fleet boats, and it's good for our members. We got a nice fleet of boats. We got little 21-foot center consoles run around the back bay. Then we have some offshore stuff to go out into the Gulf. We got some 26-foot Sea Fox and Sea Pro, and then we have Ocean Runner 29-foot. Really good boats for doing some fishing right now. It's just chilly out there, and I mean, December can be really good, or it can be cool like this and kind of not be good. January, same thing. It's a crapshoot. We'll see what happens. But come February, we'll be ready to go. So come down and see us. We have the boat club and the boat rentals. So if you want to rent a boat, we can get you taken care of. It's a separate fleet of boats, but we do have some rentals. Pontoons and deck boats, really nice boats. You have pontoons straight in the backwater. We have half days and full days. And mornings are 8 to 12, and afternoons are 12:30 to 4:30, or a full day is 8:30 to 4:30. Definitely, if you want to go to lunch, I would suggest going for the full day. There's 12 restaurants out there. Nice selection of
Small glitch. We're back.
small glitch there. The
We're all good.
cleaning lady called me twice, and I'm on Do Not Disturb. She was making sure to call me. So, I'll give her a call back here after that. So, but we'll get that taken care of. But it's a clean lady for Tallahassee. Gotta have a clean lady. It's don't have time to do much, but that is one thing. It's nice.
You're not really there much, so
No, I mean you're there in and out.
when you're there, you're working.
Okay.
So
We were talking about boats. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to do out there with rentals. And then, we've got a lot of members that are getting into the boat club. They don't want to buy a boat. Boats are expensive. There's a lot of stuff people are cutting off. They bought one during COVID, and it's a lot of headaches. I was talking to a friend up here, and he has a boat down in Miami, and he's like, well, it's the oldest boat in this new club, and everybody puts their Invincibles in, and I got a call, and I'm on a rack, and then they put it in the water. And he's like, do you think, if I can put it in the water, like all I do is untie it, do you think I'm going to use it more? I'm like, no. But, you can try it out and see what happens. He's like, well, it's cheaper. I'm like, well, just make sure your bilge pumps work good. You got to bottom paint everything. And he's like, oh, it's already bottom painted, but you're going to have to put a new coat on it. So do you think I'm going to use the boat more? I'm like, probably not. But, hey. But, he likes taking his family out. And then everybody goes home, and he likes to spend the hour or two cleaning up, and that's a form of therapy for some people. It just makes it easy to get off the boat, get the kids out of there, and then they come back. What are you doing, Jake? Are you walking around the room there? What's going on? I can see Jake.
sorry, I'm distracting you. I'm trying to shut my door.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. But yeah, so I mean that's what he likes to do, and and that's good opportunity. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do the hassle of cleaning and storage your boat, come join a boat club. I mean, to go out and buy a boat, you're talking $150,000, $200,000 to buy a good boat. You can get something a little bit cheaper, under $100,000. Where you're going to keep it, where you're going to store it. You don't want to keep it at a marina that costs, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month to keep it at a marina. You can put it on a trailer. The trailer is $3,000 or $4,000. You can store it at a storage facility, and you got to make sure you have a vehicle to pick it up. So you go to pick that boat up, load up the kids, go pick it up, drag it down the boat ramp. Boat ramp can be kind of interesting this time of year. It gets a little busy, and there's a lot of boat ramps missing right now with the hurricane. So it's tough. You back it in, then the boat doesn't start, you have issues, just saying, hey, you had a good time. The kill switch's not on, so then the family's upset. You get going, you go out there, you have a good day on the water, you have some fun. Now you got to back the trailer up into the boat ramp, trying to get the people set up there. You got people fighting, arguing, and then you get the boat out of the water. You can drive home. Now the kids are, probably having a good time. They're swimming in the pool. Now you're there washing the boat for 2 hours. Or the alternative is you come over to Baywater. Our membership right now is $79.99, so $8,000 to get in, and $425 a month in dues. And you don't have to worry about anything. You just take the boat out. You want to take it out for 10 minutes, it's no big deal. You want to take it out for an hour, you can do that. Well, that's what's nice about the club. You just show up, take the boat out, have fun, walk away. We take care of the rest. So it's a great option. A lot easier to get out there and just have fun on the water. I'm up here driving in 10, and I see all these solar power farms, which is interesting, Jake. But yeah, so this is where the hurricane rolled through, so a lot of trees are still kind of messed up and tore up a little bit there. But like I said,
yeah, not a huge fan of the solar power. Sorry.
Yeah, it's something, right? It's something. It's I know FPL is dumping some money into it, but I think the thing is, we had a guy come in last year and talk to the Commerce Committee about the future of power, because gas is a constant. We have that. A lot of people don't like it. There's always something you're always worried about the election, what's going to happen, like wind, and solar. I mean, it's not consistent. We need something to run our country consistently. Like, it's nice to be the edges. And yeah, it harnesses the planet. It's a lot, supposedly greener, air quotes. If that's true or not. But he started talking about there's some out there, these small modular reactors called SMRs. It kind of piqued my interest when I heard about it. And so instead of having like 3 Mile Island, which people get scared about nuclear, but I think it's taken a turn. People are kind of over it. Chernobyl was a horrible thing that happened. 3 Mile Island was another bad issue. But with these small modular reactors, they're like a semi-trailer. And they bring one, they bring two, they bring three, and then when they're done, they just pull them out of there, and it's not like a huge plan. So it's a new concept, and with IT, AI, it's about energy, right? We've got to have energy for these computer processors. It's the energy to build these things. I know Amazon's talking about it a lot. There has to be something besides gas. So. Or something to replace gas. So there's a couple companies out there. They're doing it in China, doing it in Russia, and they're like small modular reactors. It's interesting. I mean, it's like a semi truck, and it's 5 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, and it just kind of keeps going. KW, bigger and bigger. So it's something different. So there's a lot of companies out there starting to dig into it. I know Trump, President-elect Trump is something different, new into the process about this. So we'll see. I'm sure there's some interest out there. So we'll see with that. Sorry, just to kind of deviate off the conversation there, Jake. What do you think of nuclear? What's your opinion?
It's alien, to me, personally, and it's alien if you really think about it. But there's evidence of nuclear, not necessarily reactors, but it's that technology being here for quite some time. And I've always been curious as to why we haven't, because you're right, Chernobyl is a terrible disaster, but it's not like all that happened on purpose, and we can learn a lot from it. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Chernobyl show on Netflix or whatever it is.
HBO.
It's actually
really good.
Really good.
Really good.
It's really good.
Really good.
You can learn a lot about can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But it is kind of alien, I feel like, and it's one of those things that people don't necessarily understand, and then they kind of are scared of.
It's real
But I
simple.
think if we
it's
can,
just steam, but it's tough, right? I mean, it's tough.
well, it's the decay of the after
The
effect
uranium and all
of
that.
once we've pulled all the energy, it takes thousands and thousands of years or however long, I don't know. But I feel like it's something that we should have been doing 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't even be in this political battle over, is the earth cold? Is it too cold now? Is it too hot now? Like, are we the ones responsible for it? And then you have all the hoopla about global warming and such. And listen, just because I'm a conservative doesn't mean I don't want to conserve the earth. Doesn't mean I don't want the earth to be beautiful.
We're
you know,
conservationists, Jake. Conservationists. That's the word. Conservationists. Teddy Roosevelt Republicans. Conservationists.
Well, I like that. Teddy Roosevelt Republicans. I like that. And you yourself have been a prominent actor in making sure that a lot of the historical aspects of our town alone stay that way. And I feel like, it's just, there's so many things that have been politicized, and I understand energy is like one of the biggest commodities and necessities when it comes to America. But I'm also not necessarily 100% convinced that we're responsible for all of the emissions that we get the heat for and we argue about so much. And you have other big countries that they make up 75% of all of India is number one and right next to
Burn the
China.
trash. Just burn
and,
it. Just burn it. It's no big deal.
But yeah, like you got a whole acre of tires. Let's catch them on fire. See what we can do. That doesn't happen here. Like we have rules and regulations. Like when it comes to AC and the things that you do that could potentially put a hole in the atmosphere, you can go to jail for doing these things. And it's not like we don't have laws implemented
we lead
to
by
prevent
example.
this type of stuff from happening.
We lead by example, but there's a lot
Exactly.
of stuff that's just like, I mean, there's only so much you can do sometimes. Look in France during the Olympics, and that's just they couldn't even swim in the river because it was so. And then China, they turned the whole industry off when they were in Beijing, like 6 months before they shut down everything. So the air cleaned up. It's like, oh, it's the first time we can see Beijing in a clear day. So somewhat interesting there.
Yeah, and then the hypocrisy of the, what's his name? Newsom? Was it Governor Newsom in California whenever he had the China?
Yeah.
Whenever he had the guy from China came down and he cleaned up all the streets and they cleaned up all the poop in the roads.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Who do we have on? There was something about that. They were talking about that. Yep, they just come in and like clean it all out, power wash everything. It's like bleach everything.
Man.
And
it looked beautiful, and it's like, why couldn't you just keep it like that?
Well, that's the same thing that we're doing in Tallahassee. Like Tallahassee is an interesting town. I will tell you that. It's an interesting town. It's it's been developed and it's just like choppy. If it wasn't for government and FSU and Florida A&M there would be nothing. It would be Port St. Joe. It'd be nothing. It'd be Lake City. But I mean, like this weekend, I got a parade coming up for Christmas, and they're out there last night bleaching the streets. I'm like, oh, because there's a lot of bums out there, and a lot of kids, and pee in the streets, and the kids are out there. It's a party town. So I mean, hey, it happens. It's good to clean up, but like, why are you cleaning this up now? Why is it cleaned up all the time? There's certain things. It's our capital. It's just kind of disappointed at times in certain things. I mean, it looks like that could be so much better. But it is the process, right?
I'm losing you, Adam.
Oh, hold on. Reconnecting.
Yeah, I'm losing you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
You're back.
Yeah, I can hear you. We're getting to that one area out here. It's pretty dead. So, but
a little spotty out there, huh?
A little spotty. So, I don't know if the time clock restarted, but I think you got it in full. Have we only been talking for 12 minutes? I don't think so. I think we've been talking longer than that.
Nope, 25.
I was gonna say, damn, this is really going slow. But No, so I mean, there's
No, it's been 12 minutes since your
oh, cleaning lady. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Just keep me
yes.
on keep me in line and let me know exactly what's going on. But it's tough up here in Tallahassee. It's a different animal, and it's like Bonita. It's such a great little town. Fort Myers, downtown Fort Myers, they've cleaned up a lot. They've done a lot of good stuff. Naples. I mean, you can't get much nicer than downtown Naples. I mean, they really do a lot down there. I mean, and then there's all kinds of stuff going on with politics up here. We've got what's your latest think there, Jake? I mean, this is like it's actually kind of amazing because the town is just of a buzz. We're recording this a little earlier, um, but what's going to happen with the governor? What is Ron DeSantis going to do? There was talk about him going to Department of Defense for Donald Trump. Um, I don't. I think that's just somebody talking and putting that out there in the ether. I don't believe it. I don't think that the governor's going to go over there. If he does, he'll do an amazing job. But I don't know how that long term goes for him. You know, he's got that Senate seat. What does he do with that? Does he appoint himself? Does he appoint Casey DeSantis? Does he appoint his chief of staff, James Uthmeyer? Does he appoint Paul Renner? Does he appoint Ashley Moody? You know, if he appoints himself, nobody's going to give him any hassle because, he's done so much for Florida from COVID to hurricane response to everything. He's been amazing at. Best governor we've ever had. And we've had some good ones. I'm just talking from my prerogative and what people say. And, we're extremely excited about President-elect Trump coming there and how many Floridians have gone up there. Pam Bondi, um, Chief of Staff, Susie Wild. I mean, just a lot of people have been picked. Waltz is going up there, and I'm sure there's going to be more. Where does Byron Donalds end up at? Where does Matt, not Matt, who's the congressman from Martin County, the Brian Mast. Where does Brian Mast end up? Because he's been there with the president from the very beginning. So there's a lot of other trinkets. Now, what happens when that opens that Congress seat in our district? Who's going to run? What's going to happen there? I mean, I've heard of, county commissioners from Collier and Lee interested. I've heard, even our sheriff, Carmine Marcino was interested, talked about it, to run for that Congress seat. I mean, who has $3 million to sit in a bank account that's just going to jump in and do it? What state representatives and state senators are going to run? So that's going to shuffle a bunch of other stuff. I can tell you right now, I'm staying at the House representing our area, and for the next 4 years until I term limit out. I'm not going to jump early. There's a lot of people that are in this business of politics. Unfortunately, it is a business, but where they like, well, I beat this one, I'm going to run for this, and then end up not doing it. I mean, I can always go back and wash boats. Forgetting that is the plan right now when I'm done with this. So, we have to. You can't look at this as a lifestyle. This is, you're here to serve the people and give oversight where oversight needs to be. Bring home dollars, which needs to be done. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but we're just getting involved in our local community as much as we can, and getting people elected that are good people. Just normal people. I mean, there's a couple people up in Cape Coral that got elected are awesome. Rachel, I'm gonna mess up her last name, Cadu, but I've known her for a long time, and I always joked with her, #normal. Just have normal people. You don't have to be special to run for office. You just need to be normal. Somebody that signed a check and paid a bill. That's, had to make a tough decision on groceries, or, had to make a tough decision on that. Those are the kind of people we need. So I'm happy to see more people get elected in Bonita and Estero and Fort Myers Beach and stuff like that. I think we need to really focus on our local elected officials, because they touch you a lot more than anybody in DC or even in Tallahassee does too. So that's my stump speech for a hot minute there, Jake. I'm sorry. But I'm driving, just looking at this stuff here and just seeing that.
I mean, it's one of the things that we've both preached about a lot. I mean, local and state politics are going to affect your life a whole hell of a lot more than the president. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. He represents us all as America. He's kind of the billboard, or she in the near future, possibly. The president really just acts as commander in chief of the military. And also, they kind of represent us on the global side of things. But when it comes to, like you said, to elect a local and state official that understands the struggles that you go through on a day-to-day basis, because we all know, being Floridians, the majority of our economy is based on how many people come down here during the wintertime. And it always has been. It's been like that for over 100 years. Ever since the inception of Fort Myers, I mean, the majority of these places, if they weren't a military base, they were built around the idea of people vacationing here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the first building ever built in Florida was probably a hotel or a place for people to kick their boots off,
Probably.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and then with that, you got to keep that in mind whenever you, when you elect these state officials. And like you said, it's surprising to hear somebody that is an elected official say, no, I'm just going to serve my time. I'm going to serve the people, and I'm going to be out. Because you're right, a lot of people do treat it as a business. And unfortunately, that does a disservice to the people, especially whenever you get on stage, or not even on stage, just anywhere, any kind of forum, and you start talking about what you want to do for your constituents. I mean, we all remember the time that Dan Bongino moved down here and tried to run, and he couldn't even name, one of the cities that he would have been representing.
Cities, yeah.
And it's, don't get me wrong, I love Dan Bongino, and yeah, it was rough. And I love Dan Bongino, and he's probably doing a hell of a lot better for himself now, not being elected, than he would have been had he been. So, and, but even though he was popular, people knew of him, knew about him, knew what he was, what he stood for, we still had to kind of stand our ground and be like, nope, no, sir, you can't come in here and nuke it, because, sorry, and to elect people around you that really understand your struggle. That was a good little monologue you had there. I like it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Keep it real. I got boats to wash. Omar's listening. He's like, get back there. Get to work. But anyways.
Speaking of which, I mean, I know you're about to have an influx of a lot of people coming back down. So what do you do to prepare in season?
Oh, we've got a great...
I mean, I know that you guys are always ready, but...
Yeah, it's kind of funny, Jake, you bring that up, and this business is a lot different than any other business that we used to have. I mean, we used to be in the carnival business where you're on. Like, you have to get that money in the door right now. With the rental business, boat rental business, you got to get that money in the door. Boat club's a little bit different. You have to maintain and, keep the boats to a par. You got to get the members out there. But we're getting our staff ready, and we keep our staff busy year round, and I mean, that's a decision that we have to make. We keep good staff on, and we try to give everybody in the off season their hours that they need, and then in the season we give them hours. But hey, we get there, and I mean, we constantly maintaining these boats and cleaning the seats and keeping the mold off, the mildew off the seats, and working, and Larry and Leland, they do a great job. And I mean, we just got, to spray paint the motors just to keep them looking clean. And some little things happen, a couple of weeks ago, we actually got our first boat on qualified captains. I don't know if I said that a couple weeks ago there, but that did actually pop up. So, that was interesting. But we spend time with our members and tell them, show them how to boat, what to do, where to go. But we really want to spend some time with our members. We spend 4 hours with them, training them how to drive a boat, how to get familiar with the area. And a lot of these people have boats, so it's usually not that hard. But we want to really just show them the area, because that's important. Really want to make sure that they feel comfortable out there, and they're out there enjoying themselves, and they know where they're going. That's where we started a pontoon, where it's an easy boat to drive, especially when it's low tide. does it draft as much water as a center console or one of the twin engines? And sometimes this time of year it'll get so low that was like, hey, you know what? You might want to switch over to a different style of boat because there's just, no water out there. You're not going to have a good time. And we got people that listen, and we'll strongly suggest it. And then we got people that don't listen, and they take out like a big boat, and they're like, well, this was horrible. Like, we tried to tell you, it wasn't fun. Now you messed up a couple props. It's not good. You got to kind of watch that. And that's the thing too. People ask, how does the club work? We walk through the boat with you before you take it out. Go through everything. Make sure you show your life jacket, your players first aid kit. Take a look at the prop because that's what does happen. You'll dog ear a prop in a dog ear. It looks like a dog ear could have been over. Most of our area there is sand. There's some moisture beds and stuff like that, but there is a couple places that has cement blocks down there, somewhere out there, and by a restaurant over at Flippers. I think when they were building, something is underneath there, and we'll bend a prop from there every once in a while. But folks, we take it off, put another prop on there. We get it reconditioned. You pay what we pay. We're not here to make money off you. We want to make sure you're having a good time out there and just enjoying yourself. That's what's nice about the club. It's easy. No problems. And, we've had members that joined and, they beat you up on the price and I can't believe you're this expensive. Why are you more expensive than Freedom? And why? And then they're in the club, and 2 weeks they're like, this is the best thing I ever did. All your staff's amazing. Your people are great. They're very helpful. That's what our guys do. They do a good job, and that's what we keep our members around, and, our members love the club. And then when you're done, you just walk away. Call me up, say, hey, Adam, this is my last month. We're moving, or, getting too old to go out on a boat. Or moving back to Michigan to hang out with the grandkids. And usually what happens, they move back like a year later. Like, I went up to Michigan and I never see my grandkids. So what the hell am I doing up here in this cold weather? I'm moving back to Florida because it's much nicer down here. And hey, that's a good way to be. The grandkids will come down and see you here more than they will at home because they've got their friends and family going in there. So, and every time the members go on a boat, we make sure they're having a good time and just getting out there. And we've had members that leave for a couple of years and they come back, like, I'm going to rejoin because this was the best time I ever enjoyed using the boats. This was a lot of fun. And that's good to hear. It's a nice thing to hear. So our members love the club. Talk to your friends and just go out there and, see us, stop by and see us, call us 239-495-0455. Again, that's 239-495-0455, or you can look us up online, bwbchclub.com. That's bwbchclub.com. And just Google BW Boat Club. You'll see us there. You'll see Dad driving the boat. You'll see us out there. The story there. We got the podcast now out there. We got you can watch us on YouTube, which is great. I haven't seen any shorts yet there, Jake. But I know you've been busy.
They've been uploaded once all week. There was one this morning, one yesterday morning, one the day before that, one the day before that. Oh, no, not Facebook. But yeah, you're right. We got to get that figured out. Why I need to talk to you about that is why. And you've been busy, I've been busy, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get them up there. So we'll start pushing those out there. But no, it's
yeah. The problem is my Facebook is flagged right now, and everything that I'm posting is getting banned. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with my Facebook. This is hard to talk about, but there's apparently my account got shut down. It's a meme account, and I haven't posted anything on it in over a year. But apparently something on there they tried to say was something that is really, really bad. So I got reported to a organization. So I had to contact the organization, try to see if I could get the information that they had gotten from Facebook. It's just a whole thing, and I think that this might be the reason as to why 92.5 Fox News got shut down way back when. So, but I can't really figure it out. But I'll talk to you more in detail after the show.
Interesting. Same with the shorts.
Yeah, I'm on an FBI list, to be fair. That's what it is. I'm on a list.
No wonder every time you go on the flights, they're always, hey, come here. I thought it was the beard, but I guess not.
No, Al Jacob is what they call me.
Come here, Al Jacob.
Al Jacob.
Come here, boy. What you doing with that weird beard? That's just
Yeah, so
the
to
neck
prevent
beard. It's like
your
a
business
neck beard.
face, don't say that. I got some on my cheek. It's there on the cheek, but you're right. It is really hefty. I'm trying to let it grow out. I'm hoping that because I got peach fuzz on my chin and stuff now. It just takes like a month for the peach fuzz to come in, and I'm not gonna touch it for like a year. I am gonna have to trim it a little bit because you're right on the bottom. It's super
It's like
heavy, and I'm looking like I
oh, you come out of a cave out of Kandahar, bro.
that are my mom's basement after playing Dungeons and Dragons for 30 days straight and not leaving. I got translucent skin.
I don't know. Al Kuwaiti, Jake the Millennial.
Alquady Jacob. Hey, Jacob.
Jacob. Oh, Jacob, come, Jacob. Come here. It's horrible. But anyways, wow.
Because your beard, looking at your beard, is immaculate, dude. Like, you've got it trimmed. The bottom looks good. It's nice. It's one length all the way across. And then you just have white hair and one black streak, like a mohawk, down the middle, which it looks really good.
I'm a reverse skunk. That's all I can tell you. The hair's grown out a lot.
No, but it looks good on you, because you got the highlights, basically. It's all professionally done.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
do you get white gray highlights? I'm like, what? No, this is natural. This works that way. But yeah, I have like
Yeah,
I have
I know.
an arrow that's just like a black hair. So it's interesting. But hey, it's getting there. How many minutes we got left there, buddy?
20.
We got 20?
15.
I was gonna say, damn.
Actually, technically 13 if you want to be like 100%.
13.
So just a little over 10 minutes.
Gotcha. So, but yeah, no, it's what was I gonna say? Got kind of dead air there.
He's blushing.
I'm blushing.
Yeah, he's blushing.
Blush.
He's like, oh, thank you.
Oh, I thought we were like at the end. I guess not. So, but hey,
We're getting there.
Christmas is Christmas. What are you? So you going up to Columbus for that? I mean, I'll be home
Yeah.
working the boats, and hey, hopefully we got great weather, and see how that is. I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun. If we got good weather, it's awesome at the marina. We're busy. It's always great having like 80 degrees on Christmas. I can't complain. We get those warm days. That's awesome. And we've had it before where it's cold. I remember a few years ago, this is before we really got into the boat club. We had the boat rental and the boat club. I want to say it's 2012. So a long time ago, more than 10, 12, 13 years ago. It got cold in January and it did not warm up till Easter. Like it was just week after week cold. I think we had 40 days that was below 40 degrees in the morning down by us. That was like when the snook all died. There was a big issue within the bays. All the fish died. All the manatees were dying because, they get to a certain point, they die. They're not used to cold water. That's why you see them up by the power plants all the time and those cow pens up there where they go. But we had 40 days below 40 degrees. I mean, Jake, there was ice on the boats in the morning. Like I would dry the boats off and it would be like you take the towel and it'd be ice. And you're like, wow, this is not good weather for boating. It was really cold. I mean, all the plants died. I remember going over to Miami and everything was just brown from, just the cold freezes and stuff like that. For Miami to get cold, that says a lot. I think back in 1880 or something like that, they were talking there was snow in Tallahassee. There was the legislature actually had a snowball fight, which was pretty wild. But yeah, it is very, very chilly. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's nice and warm. I mean, that's what people come down here to Florida for. As far as south as you can get while still being in the country. We love Miami, but Miami is a whole other animal, right? There's a lot of stuff that happens. And it's pretty crazy. The Keys are awesome to go to, but, definitely, Southwest Florida is a great place. I think Marco's as far south as you can get. Marco's great. They got a couple beaches down there, but Naples, Bonita Springs, Estero, Fort Myers Beach, really great areas. Sanibel, Captiva, all great areas. Boca Grande, all my district. But that's just nice. If you're listening to us up north, hey, we're open for business. We've gotten quite a few hurricanes the last couple of years, but we're gonna clean everything up. Fort Myers Beach is coming back. Sanibel's coming back, and restaurants are open. And Florida's gotten a little bit of a black eye last couple of years with storms, but we're open for business. We're ready to get out there and have a good time. And, we just need to work. We need the people to come down and rent boats, come down and go out to eat, go to restaurants, and hang out. We're here, and we're not just talking about snowbirds. We're talking about people that want a vacation. Come on down. We got stuff available for rent. Get you taken care of. Boat rentals, boat club, whatever it is, we need you. We need you to come down and just take care of these people for sure. So it's a plug for the local district. Join the boat club. Join the boat rentals. Have some fun. Come see Jake. Wherever Jake's show is going to be. He's always eating bacon in the morning, which I don't think it helps with your beard that much, everybody. So.
What will? I mean, I don't know. Give me some pointers.
I don't know. I mean,
not everyone can have just a beautiful beard like you got.
It's genetics, man. Sometimes it doesn't work out. You said you were doing like exfoliating your face or something. You were poking your face.
What's it called? The darn Dharma roller. It's like little needles, dude. You're literally poking holes in your skin. And it worked on one side. This side got real nice and thick, and then this one I'm still like, what is it? It's awful. If you want to make fun of my beard, just go to our YouTube channel. It's Baywater Boat Club Hour. You can see all my videos with terrible beard, and I look half dead, but just comment how ugly I am. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to go cut this thing off when I get off here. I'm not.
Well, the girlfriend likes it. That's why you're growing it. It's fine.
Yeah, and she, I look like a 12-year-old if I don't have a little something on my face. So I'm not quite Pretty Boy Floyd, but.
Let's see when you wear a cowboy hat. Like, who the hell is this guy?
You had no idea who I was.
No, didn't expect you at all. It's like,
And it's funny because I remember too. I was like in my brain. I was like, he doesn't even recognize me. And I was over there just chopping it up with Larry. Larry's like, why is he looking at you like that? I don't know. We're going to go find out.
Who's this guy? I'm going to deal with this. It's an old employee that's like getting angry at me or something.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is
you were like,
how's he got one of my shirts?
Hey, it's an old employee giving me some crap or something. Like, I don't want to deal with this right now. This is not what I want to deal with, I mean, it's we need our shirts. I mean, it's funny when we have to let people go. It happens, right? It's never easy to fire or let someone go. There's two different things, right? But you need your shirts, and then they're like, well, I have my shirts. I need it back, because those are expensive. Most of the time they're pretty beat up and stuff. But I had one guy working for us, and I don't know, he was like a dumpster diver, and nothing against that, but I was like, sir, I don't want you wearing my shirts while you're diving in dumpsters. Number one, it's dirty. And I mean, he'd come back with his pants were so dirty. I'm like, what do you do? Look, he was dumpster diving, when you go there. And he came like one day on a quad bike, those quad bikes? He rode that to work. That's what he rode to work in, was a quad bike. And it was like, it had been by a trash can somewhere. And he rode that puppy into work. And it's like, okay, that's transportation. But yeah, then he starts showing up a couple days late. And just, we can't, okay, you got to be here to work. You got to be here to work, right? But yeah, it's like, what do you do to do that? Then he was walking down Beach Road a couple months later, very scantily clad. He was not wearing much, so it was interesting. But hey, to each their own, Jake. There's a lot of different ones out there. A lot of different ones.
But, there are protocols. There's this thing called cardboard. Whenever you hop in a dumpster diver, you bring cardboard and you get on top, whatever. That's a whole different story. My best grab from a dumpster, I was in Columbus walking home from school, and I stepped on an old Topps basketball card. And I was like, what is this? So I followed it, and there was like a trail of basketball cards. I get over to this dumpster, and there was about 6 shoe boxes full.
Oh, wow.
Of basketball cards.
Wow.
So me being me, there was a couple of them that were ruined because it is a dumpster and it was amongst other trash. So I got the ones that were salvageable. I think I left with about 2. And then going through those 2, I ended up with a small box of a couple basketball cards. The best card being the entire Bulls team from '96.
Wow.
Okay. I had Phil Jackson. I had Michael Jordan cards. I had Bob Weiss card from the '60s. There was a ton of really, really cool cards. I still have them all to this day. The best card I have, though, is a rookie card of LeBron James, and it's a misprint. It's a LeBron James rookie card, but on the card is a picture of Ray Allen.
That's probably worth some money.
And those were all found in a dumpster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have them up there. I would show them on screen to the people on YouTube, but it would take me a second to grab them out of the closet.
Yeah. Well,
and probably wouldn't be able to see them. But maybe I'll post them on Facebook or something on my Facebook page if anyone cares.
Well, I remember one time. When you go to Michigan, and you go to Michigan, they have deposits on the cans, right? 10 cents per can. When I was a kid, I think
that's a huge thing up north. Yes, sir.
I used to pick up cans, and you pick up 10, it's $1. And I do that as a kid, and we'd be out there. But I remember one time we were at Michigan International Raceway. We did NASCAR. We used to have food and beverage with NASCAR. We used to do a bunch of NASCAR races. And we weren't going to the next track, wherever it was. We were in Michigan Speedway, which is Brooklyn, Michigan, out there. And we're in an RV park, and there's just fields of trash. People haven't gone through them. So we just started picking up cans, my brother and I. And we ended up with 10,000 cans. We had $1,000 worth of freaking cans. So we had to go to Myers, and they had the can, like you put it in a can crusher, and they would just, sit there, and it would spit them out. And I'm like, geez, that was $1,000. That was crazy. Now, that's stuff fun for kids. Teach you to clean up their trash. But I've seen other states where they have the, service if you need help, welfare, or WIC cards, whatever. But you've seen the guys where they go out there and just bad people, people that have really not bad people, but they have problems, and they'll just go out and buy, 24 can drinks, just pour them out and take them back in to get the cash. That's a real issue.
Well, a lot of times people do that with food stamps, right?
Yeah.
So they'll go out and buy a bunch of stuff with food stamps, dump it out, and then take it back.
Yeah.
2 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. But thank you, sir. But yeah, so you hate to see that. And, you got people that do that where they sell food. Oh, buy me this, go buy me that. Anyways, let's get away from that. Get back on track here. Got 2 minutes left. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Listen to me drive down the road. Then we might have to do this again next week, but I'm driving back from Michigan, Jake. Give us a call over at Baywater Boat Club. The Baywater Boat Club Hour. We're here to sell memberships and keep the money coming in, keep our fleet looking good for members, and take care of Omar. That's a big thing. Omar and Sherry, mom and dad. So we're gonna get that going. So give us a call 239-495-0455. Again, that's 239-495-0455. Or you can Google us on bwbclub.com. We have our podcast on our website, too. You can look it up right there. Just bwbclub.com has our podcast on there. And we probably should get the link, too, Jake, and put it on our website, too, so we can do that. We can figure that out, too, when we get off here. That'd be a nice thing. And where you can watch us talking, we're at, Jake. Just go on YouTube.
On YouTube right now is the big spot. We have about 247 videos so far on YouTube. Most of them are shorts. So if you have a short attention span, it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Because I break them all down.
Yeah, it's funny to hear us.
Baywater Boat Club Hour, by the way. If you type in Adam Botana, Jake the Millennial, or Baywater Boat Club Hour, it'll show up eventually. Or all together is probably the best.
Yeah, just do it all. We'll get that figured out. But thank you for tuning in. There's a hawk in the middle of the road there. Thanks for tuning in and listening to Baywater System Boat Club Hour. We'll see you next week. Have fun and start Christmas shopping. Have fun. Bay Water Exclusive Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.